So I wanted to read something because you're going to love this. This is so great. Okay, I did a reading for this Divine Masculine yesterday, and it rocked my world. I have never seen a more intense reading, and I don't do readings like, everybody does their own kind of readings, and everybody has a different layout or a different structure that they do, but a lot of times I'll just focus straight in on one thing, and I'll go one card at a time, and I'll do clarifiers or whatever. I ended up with, for this Divine Masculine, here's what's funny about him. He's doing everything he's supposed to do in terms of his work, but not at his home. He's still with his karmic, he's spinning in circles, he's, him and his twin are not spending time together at all, but they're both in a really, really good place where they're like accepting the fact that they're not spending time, and they're just enjoying the communication that they do have. Like, the connection is still here. We appreciate it, we respect it, we honor it, and we're good with the way things are apart, actually. So so it's really, really good. But I did tell him the home thing is going to grab you by the balls and flip you around and spit you out, dude, because I'm serious. If you guys are resisting, the more you resist, the harder it's going to come at you. Time is up for, leaving the past behind and for moving on from what doesn't serve you. And I told this guy, I said, everything that does not serve you should have already been left behind, and it's only going to get uglier and uglier and uglier from here on forward. So, case in point, I'm gonna share this reading with you. It was so brutal that I literally had to ask for help on it, because I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anything as fucking intense as this. Is this really fucking happening?
So what were you doing? I mean, tell us what that is, because I don't.
Okay, so I did a reading on this guy that was like, because I understand what's going on in his, this is the guy I was just talking about with his work, and
well, this is what do you mean by reading? I mean, is this something you're really strong at and you do really well? So. Oh,
thanks. I just pop it out. I think, but okay.
Well, that's kind of why it's nice. I could not do what you do.
I don't mean to. It just happens.
Yeah, kind of like this word is.
No, so I pulled cards, and I also use a pendulum, and so I read cards, and I get a lot of input from spirit. So it's like combination of everything. But so I was just dialing into this guy's energy, and granted, he is like A+, 100% on the right path in terms of his purpose and his work, but he is underwater on the other side, on the family side, and I understand why he is. I totally do. I understand the situation.
Right.
But I was telling him, I said, you gotta leave it behind. You gotta quit resisting, because it's only gonna get really, really brutal for you. So I did a reading for him, and I ended up pulling 12 cards total, because I kept going and going. I was like, this is fucking unreal. I'm just gonna keep going with it and asking more questions, going deeper, deeper, and deeper, because I couldn't believe it. I was like, what, is this ever gonna stop? And it kind of didn't, and I almost scared myself. But so the first card that I pulled was 9 of Swords.
Which is a heavy negative.
Yeah, we all love 9 of Swords. Might as well just jump off a bridge with a boulder around your neck. No,
it's like you said, it's one of the hardest or darkest cards, or what?
It is. Yeah, it's bad. Then there were 8 major arcana out of 11. Okay, has that happened ever?
Well, statistically, it's kind of a rare event.
It basically means if you have that many major arcana, if you even have half that many major arcana.
But you had some of them even upside down.
Yeah.
Which is even accentuating that even more. Right?
Yeah. And they all have their own meanings, but but I got, it was the 9 of Swords, and then it was divine intervention. And your shit just got flipped upside down. And then here's what's going to happen next. And it was just like boom, 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 justice, judgment. It was just like, fuck. I was like, is this for real?
And you just called in that, on this particular person, dead on. Those things have absolute meaning, every single one of those. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was a combined, this wasn't like, okay, what's happening in your home life? This was what's going, overall. So this just shows that you can do everything right in one area, but if you're bombing in another, or you're resisting, you're going to be affected, as a whole. danger there is, I understand you may have some hesitations in, you know, letting some things go on one area, but
yeah, it's tough. I mean, you only do so much as a human being. I know that's the hard part. So, and there's all this other stuff, baggage. It's not easy.
Yeah.
If it was easy, we'd do it.
right.
So,
But the problem is for the next 6 weeks,
there's going to be some heavy shit happening.
there's no breaks, and it's not
Wow.
it's not just one thing where it's like, usually it's like, okay, we're gonna give you a chance, and then you might blow it and you might get a little repercussions, but then you have a couple weeks to like mull around about it. Between here and the end of August, there's no fucking around. It's just gonna come from one direction, another direction. You're gonna get doubled up, tripled up. There's like the Lilith black moon, which basically is like, I mean, get your karmic's gonna get caught in bed with your brother. I mean, shit like that. You know, I'm not kidding. It's like karmics are getting pregnant from other people. I mean, it's just like any way that you're whatever you've done to do, you know, shady business or
What's
maybe
funny is this.
cheating.
What's funny, just to cut you off for a second, is that a few months ago I'd have been like, nah, man, that's just. Now it's like, okay, yeah.
This is hokey bullshit.
Not hokey, but it's like, it's your opinion, you know, kind of thing. And now it's more like, this is like what she's saying is real.
Yeah.
It's not like just blah blah blah. It's pay attention.
Yeah.
Too many
really,
signs of
it's
you
serious, guys.
and you get it from multiple places, not just from you.
Here's
it's
what's
coming from others.
Can I throw in my ex-husband?
Absolutely.
Here's what's really hilarious. So, my ex-husband, he's not spirit. Okay. He's not a twin. He's not a light worker. I mean, he's like one of the most severe narcissists I think that exists on the planet. I'm not okay, but literally, like, if you look at the scale of narcissists, it's like 8 out of a 9. I mean, Hitler was only 5. So okay, that's what we're talking about here.
So he's a master at his craft.
Oh yeah, and very proud of it, of course.
And he's been diagnosed
And
by a
always
professional.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not just some uninformed layperson's.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing spiritual about him, but it's affecting him, and it's funny because I haven't talked to him. Like, I mean, we were supposed to have work on some things, and then 5 days goes by, I don't get a word, and no word. I showed up in the driveway, and I called him just really quick, and I'm like, hey, I gotta figure this out. And he was like, hey, sister, I'm like putting fires out left and right, and I'm like, oh, I know what you did. Let me guess. I'm thinking to myself, oh, he probably fucked shit up at work. He probably like hid a bunch of money, or he probably bribed his boss, and he probably cheated on his wife. And
The
that's
list
what he
goes
does.
on and on
Oh
and
yeah,
on.
I'm thinking, oh, he did this and this and this and this, like all his shit. And guess what it did? So I go to show up and drop my kid off. He pulls up in the driveway and he comes out with this scowl because he doesn't want to talk to me because he knows I know. And I go, hey, are you all right? And he goes, actually fucking no. My call center, they found a big mistake. He runs a whole, like he's a CEO for a company, and they found a $5 million mistake on his team from all the people that he manages. So there's $5 million. And I probably was like, you probably told him to do something shady to buff the numbers up, and now you're fucked. And then it was, oh yeah, so he's like, I'm fighting for my job, so yeah, no. And then I find out that his wife is like on the verge of leaving. Anyway, it's just like, I'm not kidding. And he's not even, you guys, he's not spiritual, so if it's happening to him, I mean, it's everywhere you look. So I just,
Wow.
go ahead.
No, I'm just.
Do you have something to add?
No, I have nothing to add to that.
Anyway, shh. Nobody knows who he is, so who gives a shit? Anyways, karma's. This is, if it came back to him, it'd be like this little fly poop, his big scoop of karma. Anyway.
Gotcha. I'm just listening.
I wanted to
nothing
read.
to throw on that fire.
Here's what's so great. Well, it's not great, but I love this interpretation of the Nine of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to show you this really quick in case that you guys. Here's a really good. Check this out. You want to be that person? I don't.
Everything in that picture has meaning. I did not know that.
Right. Okay. So we're going to break this down. I'm going to try to get through this really fast, and it's really not that long, but it just gets worse and worse and worse, and it just like fucking nails everything that's going on right now. This was the only minor arcana card that I pulled in the whole reading. the other, so it was 9 of Swords, 8 major arcana, all fate, all basically karmic, backlash, retribution, justice, and then the other 2 were Ace of Swords reversed. It's basically like, fuck you, I'm done with your bullshit, I see what you're doing, you're a liar, you're a cheat, get the fuck out. I mean, it's just, you know, Ace of Swords is brutal. And then another ace. I don't remember. At the moment, I think it was Ace of Wands or something. Okay, but I wanted to read this because I think this, just this one card that sums up everything that I've been hearing. And things that people are actually experiencing. And the more people I talk to, the more people fall in line and with everything that this is saying.
So you're saying you just want us to understand this, or you're saying this is some of what's coming to most people?
This has become the reality for people who are resisting, who are...
you got too comfortable in your...
Yeah.
Huh.
Refusing to leave the past behind, refusing to let go of what does not serve them, you know, anything doing underhanded, any, you know, there's like a, you know what your divine path is. You know intuitively the direction you're supposed to be going in all the areas of your life. And whatever you hang on to at this point that does not serve you is going to get ripped away.
Yeah. It sometimes is really hard to understand what that is. I mean, I've had a long, even though, you know, it hasn't for me, so that's why I was hemming and hawing, because it was like, it's been hard to figure out what, like you said, I got comfortable with myself. I got comfortable with what I was doing. I was doing the movement, but I wasn't doing it with all my heart. So.
And that is hard too, but I think if your heart's in the right place and you're legitimately trying to explore the direction that you're supposed to be going.
Yeah, you're going to be...
That's half of it, right?
Yeah, you're right.
It's not if you're not doing it right.
It's not like supposed to be some, you know, something that's like the Spanish Inquisition. Do it or else. It's supposed to be...
Right.
You're going to get, like I said, Spartan kicked is about the best way I can describe that. Just absolutely shoved out into a well.
Deep.
And it's a deep well, but it's great on the other side of that well. You come out, it's not a bunch of rocks, it's a whole new world. Yeah, that was a nice shamanistic reference.
So, we want to talk about your shaman.
Not today.
Okay, but we will.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to read...
A journey.
Yeah.
Not a shaman. A journey.
You are so powerful. Yes, I'm going to read this 9 of Swords tarot. I love this. It says, okay, I'm just going to read it. When you experience a realization of just how horrible a situation has become, the 9 of Swords will appear in your reading. That's just the beginning scene.
Here it comes.
Yeah. This is the card of waking up from a nightmare, but all too often it is the card that reveals our miscalculations and vices made this nightmare all too real in our waking life.
Okay.
A person is sitting up in bed in the dark of night. Let's suppose that this is you.
This is Stephen King.
It feels like it. It sounds like it. They need to have a raven in there somewhere. And a beating heart that's flinging blood everywhere. Would make the card so...
It would, you're right. They pick up so pretty. I can't read them.
Your hands are over your face. Your legs are covered by a quilt, which is decorated in a checkerboard floral arrangement. I love this.
Yeah.
On the black wall of the bedroom float... Oh, wait. On the black wall of the bedroom float 9 swords. The handles line up above the pillow of the bed, and they all extend beyond the frame of the card. None of the points are visible. They explain that in a minute. It is as if the scene has captured the moment this person woke up from a bad dream, sat up, threw her hands over her face in the realization that she was living a nightmare. The checkerboard pattern of the quilt implies that the person has been playing a game, covering herself in a strategy that has obviously failed. The flowers of the quilt alternate with squares that feature symbols of the zodiac. The metaphor of the quilt covering this person was that this was the certainty that she could see the future when she did not even understand her own nature.
So you had false. It's uncovering and exposing all of your falsehoods.
Yeah.
Whether they're known or unknown.
And you think you got it, but you're so
Boy,
wrong.
you sure don't.
You're a pipsqueak. The universe is really gonna
Get you on purpose.
right.
Onto your purpose, not on purpose.
Right.
Not vindictive. Yeah.
Well, and is unconnected.
Yeah. Sure feels like it.
Oh, that's another thing too. Is a lot of this major arcana and the stuff we were talking about earlier. It really doesn't. I mean, I mentioned this already, but it really doesn't matter what you do. Everything is lining up to happen, and it's kind of like a.
Well, it's not that nothing you do
describe it?
matter. It's nothing you do matters. It's nothing to divert it. You're going to
Right.
get there eventually. You can make it long and painful, or you can begin to embrace it and start to figure out what it is you're going.
Right.
And the faster you get your ass in that line, as somebody who knows, who's gone through it, that
Both of us?
I mean, navigate. Yeah, both of us. I mean, very good point. Is that once you're navigating it, if you see it and get on it, then things start to right themselves quickly. It's not like you're just trying to be stubborn. Like it's a Norwegian saying.
Right.
I'm stubborn, and I'm a Taurus, so that makes it even more fun. You usually take a lot more time to figure stuff out, but in this category of things, I've been very decisive, I move with purpose on this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not that. What I'm trying to say is that people don't just like, oh, I'll capitulate and give up. It's more like, get your ass on your purpose.
And quick.
And the quicker the better, because then you can make course correction when you're moving. If you're
Right.
sitting on your butt and you're trying to, you're going to get shoved, but you're going to go in a direction maybe that's wrong or false, and you're going to take 10 years longer than you thought if you just sat down and actually figured out what you want to do. So
Right.
that's where I think the pain comes in. You're unmasking all your untruths, even if you don't know it's because you're screwing around. The universe is shoving you, but you don't have any direction or velocity to it, so you just end up nowhere.
Right.
Long time. Anyway.
Very true, very true. And the thing is that we don't have the luxury of time anymore. We don't have the luxury of, oh, you can fuck it up again and then wait a week or two or think about it or mull it over. It's like, you got to figure it out. You don't figure it out, you got a day, and then something comes in on the other side. You're getting double whammied, and then it's a hammer, and then it's it's there's no relief, there's no pause, there's no rest stops. From here to the end of August, it's just going to drill harder until
And it is. This is no shit. I mean, I would have said, no, it's not me. I'm totally good at what I do. I'm fine. I can do both things. No. For the first time in my career, I mean, it's crazy.
And you have the most impressive resume I've ever seen in the IT industry. No joke. I mean, this guy is ridiculous. And
there's a lot better than me.
You being, not in this position anymore is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It legitimate is like, okay.
No, but on the context of what we're talking about, it makes absolute sense.
It does.
Because I can totally chill the rest of my life doing what I've been doing. But I'm not going to get to. And that's right. I was complacent. I mean, if you want to honest the truth about it. That I felt like I was arrogant enough to know I could sleep for 2 hours a day and I can do everything I need to do for both. I'm going to have a lot of free time.
Good. Good, well, because I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. I know that. I'll fill it up. I always do.
There is no free time. Okay. I'm going to keep going. The swords are floating above her consciousness, and the fact that they do not have their points illustrated in the picture indicates that the trouble this person is in has not yet been resolved. So,
yeah.
This is the card that underscores one's state of hysteria regarding just how bad things are about to get, and knowing that one's actions are to blame. There is no way to nicely say it. The Nine of Swords is just about as bad a card as you can draw from the tarot deck.
It's funny though, because in so many ways, it's in my case. I didn't draw it on stories, but you didn't draw it on me. But it is at the same time, it's a benefit. It is moving you down. So
sometimes you have to really get kicked in the ass to get it. It's like some people need a harder nudge, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm that way.
And here we both are. With you people.
It is a card that confronts you to accept responsibility for your actions, even as it refuses to divulge the impact that these sins will have on you.
Wow.
So it's like you fucked up and you get to wait. This is talking about twins that have karmics still that are violating their twin contract by continuing to have sex with the karmics. There's a lot of cheating going on. I mean, all of that stuff needs to end. And this is basically karmic retribution in play here. So,
Wow.
yep.
All right. Thank you for that. And sharing the interpretation. That's some really interesting stuff to me. I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest.
Oh, I want to read one more section really quick.
Please do.
So sorry.
No, you're fine.
The Nine of Swords is most unwelcome when it is drawn in the future position.
Oh.
What are you doing now in your life that you may soon regret? If there is one silver lining in receiving this card in your reading, it is that it speeds up the reading's future. Many readings deliver a forecast for a future that is years, perhaps even decades off. The Nine of Swords speeds up the reading's future to be more likely in a 48-hour window.
Oh, wow. I did not know that one.
Run! Just run! Run with a big eraser and erase it all and fix it all like right now. I mean, shit. If the reading has been about your economic situation, the Nine of Swords in this position would indicate a foreclosure, a layoff, or an unexpected loss on an investment or a lost job. A love reading that has the Nine of Swords show up in the future position almost always indicates a breakup, separation, a terrible argument, or a discovery that you or your partner has been unfaithful.
Ooh, damn, that's a heavy card.
Yeah. So that's that. That's
So
the
there's
Nine of
not a whole
Swords.
lot I can do to turn that positive.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
But you can.
yeah.
Everybody can, and that's the thing. Follow your heart. Anybody that's struggling with a twin who is still vacillating and still having trouble, and you are in a position where you don't know what to do for them because it's really their life and their decisions, and they really need to do this on their own. My advice is to love them.
Yeah, and it's support them. I mean, it's really hard to see somebody go through it, especially if you're changing your career or something, or you're changing your life in some way. Reassurance and help can really be great assets to help that other person in your life, or your friends in your life. So it's being aware of them too.
Yeah.
With that, see that happening, wake up to that. It's like that's when your friends need you the most, or your spouse, or your family, is when they're going through stuff like this. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Because there is another side to it. It's just that moment of turbulence when the wave actually hits you instead of rolls over you.
Exactly.
You catch an edge, go down face plant, but get back up. That's just figuring out the next one.
Yep.